Okay, with the help of this, because this document is provided by Swift. Anyways, I am sharing with you this as well. Each and everything in minute and small details are mentioned here in this. Okay, everything, each and every message, its block diagrams are neat and clean. Each and every information and detail is mentioned, so everything is very clean here. So whenever I am going to walk you through at least 400 pages of this one, I'm going to refer you this one, and you also have to refer this one. Okay, whenever we discussing this one message. Okay, that's the one thing. Any messages or any series. Okay, this one. Another thing is that whenever I am discussing with you all this, right, that time I am going to discuss with you some use cases also, side by side. So why I am saying use cases, these use cases only help you to understand that in which, for example, if payment is moving A to B, it is sent pack set message, then what is the content of this message here, A to B if is moving. Okay, so here also say means number one, currently we are in number 2 to number 3, so here. So, and with the help of this, actually this is the example given by Swift only. So these all the bigs are working bigs, and this is from their currently working area. Okay, so that we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, along with this, so whenever we are discussing these things, I am going to walk you through the complete message also, how this message is built up. Okay, for example, this message is started with business application header like this here, then what is the significance of this, why we are using this one, and detail path of this, why it is mandatory not mandatory. And whenever I am walking through you all these things, I am going to show you the XML also, exactly this XML, but where you can find this one data, where you can find this one where, okay, what is the big sending receiving, the formula of this one. Okay, like this. So everything we are going to work on this. So this also 333 page document. So whenever we are looking into this, for example, if I want to show you that what is from and to organization, so it is from, right, from which country it is initiating a payment, from which big, what is the detail path of this, because this will help you to map MT103 message to here. Okay, like this I am going to discuss here as well. I am going to discuss with you here, for example, from organization ID, org ID, it's a mandatory field. For example, if you click here, it will go to the detail path of this, what is this, then after name, postal address, ID, what is ID. So each and every tag will see. For example, if I click on postal address, so now postal address has, if you remember we discussed like structure unstructured messages. So each and if you click on detail, it will give more and more detailed child, father and child relationship, and at the end there is a code, and what code should be used, it is like this. Okay, so like this pattern I will follow for, at least for, if you till the time you understand that if you go to the father and child relationship, how can we go in detail. For example, address is there, posted ADDR is code mention, or is the business address, or is the delivery address or home address, like this. Okay, so we will follow the same pattern. So we'll go into look into this almost 4 to 5 different PDFs, PPTs, XMLs, and you can say other PDFs of MT103. So this will help you to detail understand every screen, every message when we are learning. Okay, that's the pattern when we actually start working on this. But before that, there is some presentations I have made for just to understand that how this ISO20022 look like, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, why we are using this one. Okay, so this also we'll try to explore here as well. Okay, so Neha, this is your first time to understand ISO 20022. Anish, for you as well, or
Yes.
you have background as well? No,
Yes.
no, right?
No, no.
Totally fresh.
For
So I,
me, new.
yeah, so totally I will start with very basic. That's why I open this PDF. So the previous thing which I discussed with you, that we are going to do once we are done with very basic things of this one. Okay,
What does it mean of star schema and XML schema?
star kima.
I'm sorry. I missed. Miss, I got somewhere like star for XML schema, so that's why I asked.
XML schema I understand, but before that, what you said?
Star.
STAR star?
Yes.
I There is only wording here like XML schema that I understand, but star schema, that's a new word for me. Star schema, I think I never saw like these words. Maybe you can throw me some light when you have where you read it like this, so I will also try to understand this. But XML schema I understand. All like ISO 222
Okay.
messages are based on XML schema only, which I show you earlier.
Star
Star,
schema comes in database. I don't know whether
yeah, schema
it
is the
is.
concept always come into database. But if she is asking from the ISO 220 point of view, maybe you can be discussed with me tomorrow. Let me know any more information on that. Star schema.
Okay.
Okay. MT and MX only. Anyways. Okay. So before, anyways, we are going to study the message in detail only, right? How we are doing to that. But before that, um, what is the benefits of using ISO and what is not be the lots of dependency on ISO that we'll see one by one. So pros means what are the advantage of using ISO 222 message. First of all, it's a global standard. Now we have study in basic training that every country has their different messaging system earlier, like Fedwire, Bags, Chaps, then MT, some using MT, some India has some remittance information. So everything is now only processing as global standard as ISO 222. Though, though if you remember, we had a session last 3 4 days before. The Wise Bank and some other also try to introduce their own messaging system, but that's very less, 2 or 3% only. But 97% of the share in the messaging system it is occupied by only ISO 222. Okay, all the banks. So those banks, that's why it is called a global standard. Facilitates seamless financial communication across different domains and country. So all the countries already accepted this ISO 222 messaging system. That's the bigger advantage of this one. Okay. Second advantage of this one is the structure data. If you see, which I show you all every time, each and every, okay, nowadays now we are not calling as a tags, okay, we are calling as elements. Each and elements predefined clearly that this is address, this is postal code, this is name, this is big, this is from which big it is coming, from bank to bank, like this in detailed information it is mentioned that anybody can understand. So that's why the word is called structure data. And due to this structure data, it enables the automation of the reduce manual intervention, transaction processing due to this structure one. Anyways, we are going to learn that how the structure data in detail look like, but due to this your payment will not fall into the repair, will not fall into the exceptions queue. Okay, there may be chances are there, but the message is designed in such a way that if you put this message in any combination anywhere, so it can be acceptable properly. If you remember, like 52, 53, 54 wording also confusing, what is 32, but now we are proper tag, we have settlement date, settlement amount, like this, so it will help you to understand in detail way. Okay, the next word is that improve visibility. Okay, now improve visibility means now these messages are flowing from different countries in a same similar manner. So the better of the cash flow here, cash flow means that the we can say the settlement part, right? In settlement part earlier, if you are using a different messaging system, the CSM also get confused that what are the tags are coming and they have to manually analyze this. If you I was discussing my one of friend now in one of the bank, they are still using handling thousands of transaction manually. For example, there is a dividend, okay, and there is still automation is not happen. I'm not saying about ISO 222, I'm saying from different point of view. They have to give dividend, and then some nostro account is giving dividend, so that system that bank has not developed yet. So due to that they have to depend on the manual process only, which is called bank L2 operations means back office people are only required to manually settle that payment by the 2i and 4i check. So that thing it also get reduce your improve visibility, enhance insight into the cash flow and position for better financial management. Okay, so that then better services allow bank to offer improved value added services through better transaction understanding. Okay, this meaning also how exactly giving the services, that's a different part, but at least it's mentioned better services means something has been can say more granularly way they give the services which exactly MT103 might not be, because it's contain. If you I'm going to show you the transaction flow, 352 fields are there total, elements are there total. Okay, each and every element has secret significance, so this will help us to understand how this is flow is happening properly, and each and every tag is properly moving, though there are many optionals and many mandatory fields are there, but still better services is an option. And the best part is effective compliance, as we have discussed also many times. Each and every tag has a separate line, right? So it will identify quickly that okay, this amount is not good, or this name address is not good, which can fall into compliance, or this particular country's regulation will not allow. But this will allow help us to that every payment should not fall into repair by the same rule. Only if that name only come into that tab, then only it will fall into repair. If address also come into that fraud name, it will not do that, because address is a different word. So in this way, this is smartly understand your compliance thing also, AML things and AML things and other, which is help for the anti-terrorism activities stop it, and you can say your narcotics which is more happen in that, this help us from that point of view compliance thing. So supports more effective screening and compliance process with accurate data vision. So that's one of the advantage of effective compliance here. Now what's the limitation of this one? Implementation costs. Definitely every bank has to implement this, their infrastructure have to upgrade the softwares, hardware also have to upgrade. This has lots of cost from their point of view. So and they have to adhere to Swift guidelines time to time, and Swift has monopoly in the world. Swift license cost also very high. Okay, that's another thing. So that's why one of the disadvantages is that implementation cost. Second is training needed. The new XML part is also uh, anyway, this is easy to understand, but people has to understand this, right? So exclusively training has to be carried out for this training. So training has to be given to employees from the organization for using this one. So I also observe that many people are giving, many organization itself giving training for this one to understand. So that's also cost is involved for that. And system integration, existing system has to be integrated with this. For example, if some has only supporting MT103 infrastructure like this, now they has to financially accept ISO message also, so they have to upgrade their security systems also, their THALS system, their open APIs and all the concept, right? So that's also one of the disadvantage of whenever we are trying to use this ISO. Anyways, the right hand side disadvantage already been upgraded. All banks has, mostly banks has accepted, and they are using this one now. Okay, that's the one thing. Okay, when this journey started, key milestone of this one, it is Swift has taken decision in 2018 that we have to adopt this ISO 20022 cross-border payment, and in that 2018 to till 2023, the research team, the migration team, in your CBPR and your PMPG group, payment market practice group, and all this, they have done conferences, they come up with common understanding. From 18 to 23 they decide the rule, and from March 23 the first migration started. And if you remember last year, not last year, this year only November, it was the deadline for banks, November 25 to fully migrated. So there was a hybrid mode was going on for migration till from 23 to 25, and 25 is full flex, it is there. So these are high level deadlines of the migration part. Okay, So different ISO's adoption across payment systems. So different structure which are used earlier using this one is very generic slide. Like payment market infrastructure is using ISO 20022. So which country has this data is old by the way, before November 25. But which one has adopted, which one has not adopted, that's mentioned here. No, mostly everybody is adopted here. But still I mention in this, I maybe I have to upgrade this slide now. Adapted by European Union, USD, GBP, SDD, AUD, ISO 222 market infrastructure. Everybody is adapted now. So all the countries' name should be there here now. Swift supports and all this stuff mentioned here. Okay. So in ISO 222, maybe other countries also I have to mention, and this slide is no more meaningful now. Okay, but still, if you see in second column ISO 15022, the securities message are still using your ISO 15022 only. So when I say securities message, it is your series 5. Okay, series 5 message which is not in our scope, which is migration. So that message still be using ISO 15022 messages system. Um, Anyways, this forex conversion and everything is now already taken care by ISO 222. So last column also not important from uh, Swift point of view, MT point of view. Last one also not exit. Okay. So now so whenever we learning ISO 222, there is two portion of this. Although the messages looks very identical, but there are two portion of this. So we are on the part of ISO 222, we are learning all the CBPR messages, cross border payment reporting messages we are going to learn. So this is called CBPR working group, payment expert group. Okay, so those messages are designed by this group and we are learning these messages. So whatever messages I show you sometime before, XML messages, the PDFs and the guidelines also, the that's 988 page guidelines are designed by CBPR only. So we are learning that only. So if you see the diagram here, this common ISO 222 implementation is going on. So here only the first part, if you see the orange color transition portal, it contains transitions also. Transitions means mapping of this empty messages ISO 200 converting. So this tool, okay, this tool is given by Swift only, but it's license tool. So some organization bank afford that, some don't afford that. It's totally depend on that, but it is there. The tool is there in the Swift website itself. Then on the blue one, if you see payment expert people are there with the CBPR here. So they supports if any query happens. Okay, by the way, that has to be, you have to be part of their network, then only it will get solved by their queries. Professional dedicated standard payment practices group services. Then guidelines, ISO 222 guidelines, which I show you, that guidelines they have given for learning us. We will going to learn that as well for the all the part all the part of CBPR. Then Swift network on the bottom side, global network facility. So this diagram contain which are things are mentioned in CBPR group, which we are going to learn. That I am saying we are going to learn, but this is provided by CBPR. And the yellow part is the my platform standard. My platform standard is the same website which we have refer all the empty messages, empty 1 series, 2 series, 9 series, what we have learned. It's the same my standard platform, but there is a one more transition added there, ISO 222. Okay, so those things also we going to learn from there itself. So this uh, okay, by the way, which we are discussing now, it is not, it is least important point from point of view of your interviews and business questions, but this is just help you to understand that there is a CBPR group that is there, what are the common understanding of that, which thing they take care. These things will help you to understand from this diagram. Okay, not from the interview point of view. um, this is kind of a general information that when this group is formed, what is the key milestone of this one. In June 2024, Swift board recommend information happen, and into they take this mention in that till 2025 the coexistence period will be there. After that, the coexistence period after 22nd will not be there. MT will be totally replace, no longer support FI to FI transfer. Okay, this kind of information is mentioned in this slide before 25 and after 25 November 25. And then there is one more slide is there. I'm preparing that one now. It's not completely ready. What is the scope of 26 and 27? So I'm working on that also now. Okay, so once that is ready, I will discuss with that also. Okay, so this is general understanding before 25 and after 25 what's going on. And what are the standard releases is going on in MT to MX migration. If you see the top one by one button, identify standard releases, focus on CBPR messages until November, then discourage the changes which are there from the payment practice group. I also discuss is approval critical changes. If so, this is general common information, right? There is no significance of knowing everything what's going on. Deeper instruction message, check for updates. So this thing take care when you do the MT to MX migration. So standard releases during coexistence means it is earlier before 25. What was the standard was going on earlier, adhering both the messages system. So whenever Swift has released the messages, they have mentioned the code like SR223 means last year 24. So which things new CBPR message during the coexistence. So during coexistence means it was earlier before 25. What was the thing was doing in the coexistence. So in 23 checks direct debit other messages using MT only, cancellation message. In 2024 charges has been migrated in ISO20022, and in 2025 admin messages 20 messages are part of the scope, but it was not seen everywhere. It's mentioned. So this slide also not give you any significance from your knowledge. I will say from discussion point, interview point of view. It just only give you the guidance that what things happened before and now what things are going on here. Okay, so this is the website where I think I will also try to give you. I will show you how to get access of this one. Um, so it's the same website. Okay, and in this screen you can see all these messages. There are some restricted one. You can download something. You cannot download something which is required. Only banks and your organization have the access of this one. So, but what are the things I am able to download it, I will guide you and will walk you through. Even this site also give the information that which things in productions payment is failing, what is overcome of this one. That also we can discuss. We are going to discuss. Okay. Here with CBPR, the same messages are using high value payment also. There is no huge difference in this, but we are at least see one message that how high value payments messages in. They are using same format, same ISO, same pain message, same PAX messages, same everything. Only this, as we have discussed, high value payment is happening between two countries only. Similar, same country only, same currency here. So high value payment is a working group of a payment expert whose mission is to create guidelines of either of those group high value payments to be used domestic. Okay. So meaning of domestic means in existing country, in the same country only. Communities as a basics in development of their own specific market practice. High value payment group uses guidelines are publicly available on the my standard and cover payment clearing settlement to ensure consistency interoperability of guidelines. Okay, again same thing. ISO CBPR message and high value payment message exactly looks similar, only it is only domestic payment, that's it. Otherwise everything will be same here. So we are going to see one message of HPPS also, but you should also remember that whenever we are discussing ISO 20022 messaging system, there are two messaging system here, ISO CBPR and high value payment, but mostly 95% of CBPR only we are using here always. Okay, so next is CBPR, cross border payment and reporting. This is the working group payment expert whose mission is to create global ISO standard practice implementation guidelines to ensure rollout activity. CBPR use guidelines to define how ISO 20 messages are to be used in cross-border payment and cash reporting. SWIFT networks. The usage guidelines are publicly available in my standard. Again, my standard XML. Okay, this is XML schema. The word, right? You asked me sometime before the. Uh, you asked me something other word, right? But this is XML schema. This is present in XML schema, which you asked me anyhow. What word you use? Other one?
That is might be in database.
Yeah, might be, but this is XML schema. I'm going to show this also XML schema how this is like. Okay, this is in a XML schema. Okay, and this XML schema which can be downloaded from Swift website, and developer can use this XML schema to validate your payment messages ISO 20022 compliant or not. Okay, they can put directly the schema in their code, and if you're injecting any payment of pack set, for example, so that will validate. Okay, for example, big cash mention of for example 15 15 1 15 code 15 alphanumeric characters. So if you upload the XML schema in your code, right, so it will validate its alphanumerical only, it will validate the length validation, all these things. So like this 328 field total it can validate with the help of XML schema. I will show you this also when you're looking this one. The guidelines are available in PDFs and Excel as well, specified in MT CBPR transition portal. Okay, on this CBPR portal which I show you sometime before. Alright. So this is the one of the basic slides of ISO 20022, that how it is there. Now I have prepared one more slide of basics of this. If we have already seen this one, I can skip it, otherwise we will going to discuss in that if you already discuss. Okay, advantage of this at very high level, already we have discussed in a form of a diagram. So data richness, improve transparency. Now this ISO 222 is such a famous and everything. Now you are least expected to ask kind of question that what is the advantage of this one and what is disadvantage of this one. Okay, but still, if you just can remember all this terms, good for this enhanced data richness, improve transparency, increase efficiency, payment processing, reconciliation, ultimately leading compliance. Same thing we have discussed on earlier slide also. Okay. Actually we are going to discuss now one by one. If you see mentioned as enhanced data richness, so first point is enhanced data richness means it's a structural message, right? ISO every XML based format is allowing a detailed accurate information for payment messaging company as compared to your legacy empty messages. So same thing is here as well, it can contain detailed XML data. So whatever thing we have discussed, okay, I'm just trying to skip it, but if anything is important I will try to explain that also. In that diagram was just replica of this structure only here. So increase data field. Now as I told you, in block 4 we have only limited 10-15 fields are there, but now in ISO 20022 messaging system there are total 328 fields are there. So that's why it says increase data fields means increase elements. So each and every party detail, addresses, phone, pin code, everything has a separate tab here, separate element here. So it can give a more granular way of showing the data here. This format allow for a wide range of data elements including structure, remittance information, party details, and transaction information, leading to a greater transparency and better information for all parties involved here. Same thing here as well. Second advantage is that enhanced data richness and transparency. Okay, we have discussed this also. Structure, reconciliation of payment and queries, and enhance customer experience. Okay, a service such as providing more information about transaction and facilitate each and everything richer data. Okay, same thing we should discuss here as well, same thing mentioned here. Okay, and why I prepared this slide, the reason behind it, the diagram maybe I can able to explain you clean and nicely, but if you want to understand the wordings of this, right, that's why I prepared this separate slide to understand you that what are the usage of this ISO 20022 in a correct manner, the wordings, right, for this one. So here if you say improve efficiency and straight through processing of payment, so here this word is straight through processing is widely used in ISO 20022 because the each and every field has know what exactly has to do. Okay, and their significance also know. For example here, that there is a less chances of payment fall into the repair or payment fall into the exceptions queues. That's why more value is given to STP payments. STP, so more meaning of more value of meaning STP always we know now it, payment should not be into repair or exception queue. That's the way. By enabling accurate complete information to be exchanged as soon as they support higher STP rates, meaning payment are processed and settle more quickly. Okay, so due to this also when manpower require less, more automations are happening here. So that's the main agenda, main significance behind payment should be STP. Okay, this is a good point to remember that ISO 20022 supports STP payments, means step through processing payment. Here step through processing means more payment should be passed less into the exception payment should be passed to. Okay, that's the main advantage of using this one. uh, Reduce error, faster compliance, both things we have discussed. Due to this, due to the good tabs elements are there, it will reduce the error. Standardized format and enhanced data quality leads fewer errors and faster resolution. So all these slides contain your information about your how this ISO 222s our payments are more good for us. Faster compliance. So AML means anti-money laundering law. Sanction screening will happen very nicely. It will, okay, and anti-money laundering laws. This compliance thing will happen likely, and it will stop using breaches of the rules here. AML thing. Enhance interoperability and integration. So it is a common language first of all, so it can be used everywhere. Provides a common language and financial institution messaging system, right? So between them, flexibility. Flexibility format is flexible and can be accommodated in different techniques syntax like XML or JSON. So normally XML is used when QA want to integrate the payment or QA want to validate the payment, and JSON is a JSON also language can be used by developer. Thus both codes are provided by ISO in ISO 20022. So JSON code they can use in directly plug and play kind of that in your developing part. Okay, so JSON. So XML we can understand from as a BA or QA point of view, and it get easily integrated with your messaging APIs. That also flexibility mode of this one. Global standard which we have discussed. Improved compliance and risk management, enhanced data for compliance. We discussed reduce false positive. Structured data allows more accurate and efficient risk checks. Reduce false positive. So meaning of false positive we already discussed. For example, if somebody is banned in one country, right? His name is mentioned there, but in another country the person's name is mentioned as address. So this is the meaning of this reduce false positive, means the person is mentioned as address but still his name is banned, so it will not fall payment as a review. So reduce false positive means it will reduce that kind of errors, that kind of exceptions. Streamline investigation. So structure data and standardized message format facilitate faster and more efficient if something has happened to the payment. So due to the richness of the data and with the help of Swift GPI product, we can easily identify and investigate the payment. That's one of the advantage of this one. Okay, and at a very high level, how this message look like. Anyways, we are going to study and discuss in that. So it contained XML syntax message structure with a business application header. So first of all, the bigger one is business application header, message instance containing data elements, XML tags, enabling structure, rich data XML. So first one is business application header. It contains purpose and structure. Two tabs are there. The business application header provides a consistent provided convey data about the message. This is significance of the event. What exactly it contains? It contains such as sender, receiver, message, identify and reference regardless of network use. Okay. Anyways, we are going to see this thing in detail one. Okay. Then next one is the structure. It contains header. Header format is fixed. It can be combined with any other ISO message. So I will show you the header part at the top, and there is a message after that. So if I want to show you quickly, anyways, we are going to study this now throughout the structure way. Okay, so this is a header part here. If you see header, this is header part here, which is mentioned
So
here.
so this is BH,
BH means business
business application
business application header. Yeah, first one. It's not mentioned in the name here, but this is business application header. First one here in this part. business application is contain purpose and structure messages here, and the data, right, the data it contain your here, from here original data will start. Anyways, uh, each message has different part to discuss, and at very high level how this look like: business application header, then structure of the message like this at very high level. So it contain this business application header. I have detailed one, okay, I am going to discuss with you that also. This is generic, I am saying, for anyone to understand how this business application header. And then again we have to mention credit to credit transfer information, then header. So many things are defined as per the message at very high level. Business application header at the first, and then structure. These two things are here. Purpose is, what is the purpose of this message? It is there in the envelope only. What is the purpose means why we are sending the message, and there is no code for this one, but there is code for structure here. Anyways, don't worry on that part, we're going to discuss this thing in detail. Then it gather information about sender organization, receiver organization, identify example. Okay.
I think meeting will get closed in another couple of seconds.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Anyways, okay, I'm done, this is last page only. Okay.
Okay.
We are good. So what are the
Okay.
information contained, like, anyways, same thing will mention in our example also. Okay. So we're going to discuss this from next session. We are going to work, we'll start discussing line by line of these messages. So all this is basic information on that. All right,
Okay.
then
Uh, Yeah.
let me know.
So
Yeah,
Prashant, to get those PDFs and all, we need to register into that Swift website and then download it.
we
Okay.
will
You can
okay, we
let
will.
us know
Yeah,
next in the
yeah,
next
yeah,
meeting.
yes, 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 yes.